Hello, my upscale friends. I hope everybody's doing well today. Welcome to the Upscale Life Inspirational Show, hosted by yours truly, Jamila. Today we will be talking about how we're living an upscale life and making boss moves while we're at it. And we also have a special guest that you all can see. Her name is Reshunda. Hey, Reshunda, how you doing?
I'm
Reshunda
sorry.
us, and she's going to be speaking to us about how she's living an upscale life and making boss moves while she's at it. Okay, I'm not going to hold you all any longer. We're going to get right into the interview so you all can meet Rashonda and, just listen to her and see exactly what's going on with her. All right, so first things first, Rashonda, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's an honor, even though I was super nervous because, I'm not a big public speaker, but we're going to get through it. I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi. I have been in Atlanta for about 23 years now. So that's pretty much half my life. So I consider myself a Georgia peach at this point.
Wow.
I am first and foremost a mother. I have two amazing sons. One is going into his junior year of college at Hampton University. And my baby, yes, a junior, can you believe it? Remember we were watching him flip on the floor?
Oh my God, trying to figure out how to turn over. He's a
Yes,
junior.
yes, 20 years old. And my baby, he's not a baby anymore. He'll be 50 next month and he's going to his sophomore year in high school. So,
Oh,
yeah, so, definitely spend time with my kids. Outside of that, career-wise, I work for one of the largest integrated health systems in the country. I serve as the senior director for quality and safety oversight for our Georgia market here. So that keeps me busy. So whenever I'm not working, I try to live my best life.
as we all live that, she lived that upscale life and this life makes both
Yeah,
moves at the same time. That's what we doing. Like I tell people,
gotta
it's like
balance it.
and we may not label it, but hey, it's an upscale life. That's how I look at it. I'm doing it. But so thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing a little bit about yourself. We're gonna jump right into our quick questions and just kind of get to know you a little better. So first things first, whose career and or life inspires you and why?
Well, I must say that I thought a lot about this question. And I really, there's so many people that I know that are doing just so many amazing things. Like I literally love us. Like I have some
Mhm.
great friends who are doing just a lot of boss stuff. You are one of those people, Jamila. I would say that you have always had the entrepreneurial spirit. You will start a business in a heartbeat. And if it don't work, oh well, I'll start another business. So I watched this for years and I'm just like, wow, I'm just fascinated by it, seriously. Um, Outside of you, I would say working in the healthcare industry, it really takes a special person to work in the healthcare industry. So the doctors and the nurses that I work with every day, they do just things that I can't even describe. It actually working during the pandemic and witnessing some of the things that I saw, it was just, it just reminded me of, why we do what we do. But having to take care of people and then having to go home and take care of your family and then have to figure out a way to take care of yourself, it's not easy. And I would say my mother, I watched her do it, and throughout her 30-year career as a nurse, she actually is the one who inspired me to want to work in the healthcare industry as well. So those are
Nice.
just a few of the people.
Yes, and it's, it's like it's so nice, and I think it's such a blessing for us to have so many influential people in our lives. And a lot of times we don't even think about it as or in contact with these individuals until you get asked that question, and you're like, "Wow, that is part of the inspiration as to why I've done what I'm doing. Why I want to do what I'm doing, what I'm doing. It's because I'm surrounded by so many people who
Right.
influence me, and I don't even sometimes recognize that it's happening. So yeah, I love that. I love it, especially your mom. I love it. Okay, we'll move on to our next question. If you weren't in the career that you're doing right now, what career or move in life would you like to explore?
Well, truthfully, I've been having a lot of thought about this in conversation with, some other people that I know that are entrepreneurs, and I was working for myself. I mean, it's a risk in doing that.
Mhm.
But one of the things that I've thought about as a second career is being like a healthcare consultant, an independent consultant, and having like my own consulting firm. with my experience, I worked 20 years like in healthcare operations, and now I'm working in quality, which is still new to me. I'm still learning everything I can learn. I think I would really be able to, do something in that arena. And I can travel. So, I love to hop on a plane in a heartbeat. So like if I could be somebody's consultant, travel to different places, tell them how they need to do what they need to do, and then go on about my business, that would be great.
that's my lane.
Yes. So
And
we will be talking. I got to get my experience up, but definitely we will be talking because I think that is something that because I work with consultants all the time now. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I can do this.
yeah, and that, I mean, that's what I loved about it when I did do it. I haven't done it since 2020, since the pandemic. Actually, I've worked from home, but haven't had the opportunity to really get too many assignments traveling, which is okay because I did it for what, like 12 years, and it was just kind of taxing. Well, yeah, about 10 years, nonstop, So, but what I loved about it, like you said, you get to explore the world. And when you're in the hospital, it's like you see so much. For me, kind of like I was on the back end on the technology side. So, it's like I can see what I do, how it affects those on the front end and how I'm helping them to, provide better care for our patients, to help for other. So it's like, although I'm not that frontline worker, being that frontline can't function without backline. So, it's like, well, I guess without the base. So the consulting thing and just going into those different areas, that's something I think you would enjoy because you get to meet so many different people who have that same heart and mentality that you, when it comes to care for people, So yeah, look, we can talk offline. I can.
Yes, for sure. When I'm ready, I'll have to wait till Jackson, graduates high school though. Once my kids are out of the house, I don't have anything holding me back. So that's kind of my, right now I just need a stable income.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, that consulting is kind of cool. You could be, like you said, the way I just say with anyone, you can always have your full time and do something on the side. So just because you have your full time doesn't mean you can kick that off, while you're working, hire other people. And then when you're ready, you can transition yourself. So I'm still thinking about doing while we working now, we can still do it. But yeah. Yeah, good deal. So while we were talking about, changing those careers or adding on to what we're currently doing, how do you push through your worst times when you have those, like situations that come up in life? It's like life and job, things come up. But what is it that you do to help you to move, like deal with it and then move on?
Well, let me just tell you, life be life, as you know, and the enemy is busy. So, like, actually, I'm like, you need a raise, like for real, like you just too busy. But I mean, honestly, for me, I always try to focus on the positive, like in any situation. Even like when I'm talking to friends and they're like, this, and I'm like, but this, you know what I mean? I always try to focus on whatever I can find in the situation, wherever light I can find, even if it's like a little small piece of light, I try to focus on that. And it's funny because I was in church today and actually scripture, and I'm not a scripture quoter by any means. So, but I think it was Philippians 4:8. It's like whatever is good, whatever is noble, whatever is lovely, focus on those things. So like I really, really try to focus on the positive in any situation. And then that ultimately will get me through. So
got you. Yep. And that's good. I love how, like you said, we're going to always run into trials and tribulations, but like you said, you just pull through to see what can I get out of this that is something good out of everything. And you may not see it as you're going through it.
You're not going to see it while you're going through it, but you're going to look back and say, okay, Lord, I see you.
I see why I had to go through this, it wasn't easy, but I see, and and now I'm thanking God for the experience and for the lessons and for how, how I'm helping incorporating that into how I'm moving on with life. So yeah, okay, good deal. So you focus on the goods and things like that. What are some things that you do, like some of your success habits, some things that help you to achieve those goals that you set out to do? Is there anything you like to share with everyone that could help them?
couple things, but truthfully, number one, first and foremost, this is what works for me. I write down everything. Like I have to write down everything. And I pretty much live off my calendar, and I try to prioritize my day based on that. But I have to write it down because it's almost like writing a vision. You got to write it down and visualize it, and that kind of keeps me focused, keep me grounded, and keep me okay. This is what I need to be doing. That's one thing. The other thing I would say that really in the last couple of years, I found, I'm always trying to develop myself professionally. Like I'm always taking like different classes and doing different things to try to, because I never feel like I know it all or feel like I've learned all that I can learn. I mean, I have no desire to go back to school, but I definitely am always taking some sort of class to really pour into me, because you have to do that. You have to pour into you. And then also on top of that, you have to pour into others as well. So I have several people that I mentor, and I also have mentors as well. So that mentor-mentee relationship really helps me grow, because even the people that I'm mentoring, they, I always learn something from them. You know what I mean? So they pour into me just as much as I pour into them. So those are just some things that, really, I would say help me and it helped me be successful. I'm not afraid to ask questions. At one time I used to be like, I may be in the room and, just kind of be a fly on the wall. No, if I don't understand something now, I'm like, hey, like I don't, I need to break it down. So I'm not afraid to ask questions. And you shouldn't be, because nobody knows it all. And, you don't know who's around you that has knowledge that you can actually use in some way.
You're right. You are absolutely right. And I like that. I'm a list girl too. I have to be. We have so many moving parts in life. You can be a mother. Job, all these different things. Me, job, business. Extracurricular activities. If it's not written down, scatterbrain, and that's what happens for me.
Right.
When I become scatterbrain, I know, okay, you haven't written down what you need to do. So when I stop for a minute, write down everything I need to do, I settle. So, I 100% understand that list and how I love to check it off when I feel like I've accomplished something. Even if it's not a full day of check off, one thing off that list is like a win. So I 100% understand that. And yes, asking questions, even for those who are starting out in their career, or if they're, anything that they do, if you don't understand, do not be afraid to question, what mean. I mean, like even in our industry, we have so many acronyms. I'm that person in the chat and they get to saying, OME. I'm like, I'm sorry, what's that mean?
Break it down for me. I don't understand that.
I wonder too. Well, why you didn't ask? But I'm that person too. If I don't know, I'm kind of like, I don't understand. What are you talking? Or it doesn't make sense. Speak up, because sometimes people may be a little off in what they're saying, or they haven't explained it enough. And trust me, you're not the only one with that question. That's the thing. It's kind of funny. You're never the only one with that question. It's like when you ask it, you help them more than you. So I think good thing to do. Good success habits. Okay, we're coming. We're doing pretty good with time. What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out? And when I say starting out, they could be graduating from high school, college, starting a new career, branching out into entrepreneurship. Anything. Is there anything that you would give them to help them to jumpstart or push? Because when you're starting new, you always have the hesitation about, oh my God, the unknown, what it is. And so, is there any advice you give to someone who's just beginning on a new adventure to help them to push past their insecurities and those question marks that may stop them and make them so nervous when they're coming into that new adventure? Is there anything?
Well, there's lots of things I wish I knew. When I like mentorship is one thing that I just mentioned. I really didn't learn about the power of mentorship until later in my career. And I just smile when I hear my son talk about, well, yeah, my mentor said ABC XYZ, and I'm like, oh, look at you. You know what I mean? Like, you really have to be able to lean into people that may have knowledge or influence that like you don't necessarily have. And plugging yourself into different, professional organizations or things that are in your field, like start there early. Like that's how you network, you connect with people. Like really most of the jobs that I've gotten is because of either, you know, a connection that I made or the things that people say about you when you're not in the room. You have to have a promoter. Like you always have to have a promoter. And so when you have a mentor, if you make those connections, you know, that's kind of the way to get ahead because it's all, you know, on paper, you know, you just another number. But if somebody knows you, they know your work ethic, they know your hunger, they know your grind, you know, they are going to speak up for you. And, you know, most of the jobs I've gotten, truthfully, is because somebody spoke up for me and said, oh, Reshunda can do that. And so it got my foot in the door, and all I had to do was seal the deal. That's one thing. The other thing is don't be afraid to try, you know, things. Like I was always one that kind of took the safe path, truthfully, but don't be afraid to try. You know, if you try something and it doesn't work, okay, well, try something else. And really, if you're doing something that you're passionate about, something that you enjoy, it won't feel like a job. It won't feel like a chore. So like really try to find your passion. And this is what I always tell my mentees, like find your why. Like at the end of the day, when I'm stressed and there's a lot going on, there's a lot of politicking or whatever else is going on in my job, I just focus on the why. I'm like, okay, why are we here? We're here to take care of these patients.
And that's what you say. That why will help you stay focused.
Exactly. So you focus on the why, and you will always, you know, you'll always excel if you do that. So there's just a few things I wish I knew, you know, especially, you know, being able to make those connections and not being afraid to put yourself out there.
Okay, nice. I love it. Okay, we have gone through so much. I love, you know, just this is something. When I started this, my objective was to like most people didn't understand what the word upscale meant. When I say upscale clean, they're like they think of it as an adjective, and it's really a verb, and it means it's actually a word of action. It's like to better yourself, to make something better. I mean, that's what like a t-shirt. When you upscale a t-shirt, you're taking something plain and putting something on it, making it better. So even with life, you know, we put into ourselves, we upscale ourselves by you know, education, self-love, self-care, you know, doing whatever it is to help you get to your next level for upscaling yourself. So that's why I wanted to do the Inspirational Show, because I want to show people that upscale is more than a word. You know, it's a verb. It's something that we do every day and don't think about it. So I'm so happy that you agreed, even though it wasn't something that was in your, you know, full lane. But I love my friends, y'all.
I pushed myself out of my comfort zone. That's exactly what I was preaching. I got to practice what I preach, right?
But I mean, but it's going so well. It's going so well. And I'm just so thankful that you all, most of my friends, I'm like, we're all kind of the same. Maybe that's why we're such good friends, because this is outside of my comfort lane too. But I push and do it because I know it's something that we can do. I mean, we're all phenomenal people. You know, it's like we just have so much to give. And I'm like, if we can just push past that little, we can help somebody. So we're all making that move, pushing past that, you know, that little discomfort, and we're putting it out and helping somebody else. So that's what it's all about. And I appreciate you for coming on. And is there anything with the, you know, with our audience before we end it for today?
I was just gonna say again, thank you for having me. And you know, if this video helps at least one person, I think it was all well worth it. So you know, I'm happy. I love what you're doing. I love the branding. I mean, upscale is a lifestyle for sure. And you know, last thing I would say, you know, something that you just said resonated with me. Like you have to pour into yourself. Like, you know, especially roles as women, you know, we wear so many hats. You know, we the chef, we the driver, you know, we work full-time jobs, we take care of kids, we do all these things. But you cannot
counselor,
yes, counselor, everything. So you cannot pour for it from an empty cup. So it is so important to, you know, take care of yourself, pour into yourself, because otherwise you just, you know, you can't be upscale if you don't do that.
I tell everybody, you know, it's like something I'm doing myself, trying to focus more. The more I pour into myself, I can't help someone else if I'm not, you know, in the right mindset to help myself. So
Absolutely.
even me as just being Jamila, slow down and concentrate on Jamila just for a little bit so that I am okay. And then it won't be so much for me to assist that next person. So yeah, I'm all about, I'm in, as they say, my self-care era. Self-care era. That's I'm in that.
Love it.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Reshunda, for joining us for the afternoon. And for those who are actually tuning in, if you all would like to be I guess you could say, a guest star on the show, you can go to our website, www.upscalequeen.com. It's the third icon on the main page called Upscale Life. If you choose that, it will allow you to schedule an interview, and we'll get you set up, and then we'll get you slided for your posts, and we'll just move ahead. We would love to hear and talk to you and hear your story, and and just allow you to inspire others like everyone else is doing. Okay, well, we're not going to hold you all any longer. Thank you all for tuning in to some kind of way. The show, it's pretty much like developed or blossomed into a podcast. I appreciate you all for joining the Upscale Life podcast. And we hope y'all tune in for our next show that's coming up. And thank you, Reshunda, for tuning in. Well, for being here and sharing your story with us. All right, everyone. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.